grade. Welcome back to Vivaldi's Four Seasons. We have already figured out spring and winter, and today we move on to our third season, which is a mystery. And for today, you're going to need the other page, the other cover page to your folder with boxes C and D. And you'll need a pencil. And so we're going to start, as we usually do, with our first clue, which is meter. Now, I'm going to review the definitions as we go along because we haven't gone over these in quite a while. But meter is the way the blank in music are blanked into measures. So I'm going to say that again and you fill in the blanks. The way the beats in music are grouped into measures. And the first thing we have to do is choose your favorite hand, and we are going to tap those beats. Now, this is a little difficult because the music sort of cuts in and out. Vivaldi wrote it to have some periods of silence. So I will help you with this part. So I'm going to put my hand on the piano ledge here so you can see it more easily. And remember, beats are steady, okay? So here we go with our next mystery movement. The next step is we nod our head. Do you remember why we nod, what we're hearing as we nod our head? If you said we're hearing a louder or accented beat, you are absolutely right. I'm going to take this back to the beginning again because it'll make it easier for you to do this. And we're going to go ahead and tap, and then I'll tell you when to add in the nod. Here we go. Okay, and the final step, we count. We have to count the beats. Remember, whenever we nod, that strong beat is always beat number one, and then we count the beats until we nod again, and we always go back to beat number one. So here we go. Going back to the very beginning, and again, I'll tell you when to add in the different parts, so tap first. And we're nodding. And we're going to count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So on our box C, our first clue for meter, we are going to write the number 3. And that's new. We haven't had a 3 before. They've all been 4. So we get a new one today. So please write down the number 3. Next, we're talking about tempo. And in Italian, the word tempo means speed. I hope you all said speed. And even though there are a lot of different tempo speeds, we're using the big 4. So we start with the slowest one that moves like a sloth. Which is largo. And then we move to adagio. We're like a turtle. They move a little faster than people think. Moving on, we get to allegro. And then finally, the fastest one, magicians like to use this because they change things instantly, presto. Now, the best way to figure out tempo, if you can do this, if you have room to do it, you can stand up and move, or you can simply move your feet. But let's listen again And is this movement largo, adagio, allegro, or presto? Here we go. You be the judge. Definitely rule out largo, and it certainly isn't adagio, and it's kind of quick for allegro. So if you're thinking presto, you got it. So where it says tempo, we're going to write presto, and that is spelled P-R-E-S-T. Oh, and I should have said capital P, because we are allowed to capitalize tempo words. P-R-E-S-T-O, presto. Now for our next clue, tonality. Tonality, again, is what scale the music is based on. Do you guys remember the two words, both starting with M, that we use when we talk about tonality? They use it in baseball too. Are you thinking of major and minor? Because those are the words. Now remember that major sounds bright and happy and cheerful like SpongeBob. Whereas minor sounds a little bit darker, a little scarier, a little more grumpy, kind of like Squidward. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this Mystery Season for you, and your job is right now to figure out, is it major, bright and happy? Is it minor, thoughtful and grumpy? Here we go. What did you think? I don't think that sounds bright and cheerful like SpongeBob. So it must be minor. And remember, we write minor with a small case M. M-I-N-O-R. Minor. Look at you speeding through all these clues. My goodness, we might figure this out today. All right, our next word is dynamics. And we use dynamics to make the music more dynamic. Because sometimes we need our music to be soft. And other times we want it to be loud. And a lot of times we just want it to be a nice in-between. So remember that our dynamics words are piano, soft, mezzo piano, medium soft, mezzo forte, medium loud, and forte. So, going back to the beginning, what do you think this is? Here we go. I don't think that's piano. I don't even think it's mezzo piano. I don't even think it's your classroom voice mezzo forte, which means this music has to be... Did you say forte? Could you say that just a bit louder? Okay, just so we're sure. So after dynamics, you're going to write the word forte, small case F, F-O-R-T-E, forte. I'll spell it one more time, F-O-R-T-E, forte. Okay, the next clue. Your mood. Now remember, This is the most important one because your mood is always what? It's always right. It's your opinion. And again, as I've told you before, don't let anybody ever criticize you for the way you feel about music. Don't let them embarrass you. Don't let them make you change your mind. This is all about you and how you feel. So it'll always be right. Don't you wish all your tests were that way? Now, as we listen, think about answering this in your head. When I hear this music, I feel, And whatever you feel, just go ahead and write it down in box C after the word mood. Do your best with spelling. You'll know what it is. Here we go. Tell me how you feel. Okay, I hope you all got some really good feelings written down there because this movement sort of really inspires them. Now, I just used a word that I want to review with you, and the word is movement. Remember that a movement is not talking about this. It's talking about being a section of a larger musical composition, okay? We sort of compared it. A movement in music is like a slice of pizza, because hopefully you don't pick up the whole pizza and shove it in your mouth, even though you may want to, but we divide it up. And we said there are 4 movements in the 4 season, one for each season. So now we get into the real key of figuring out what season it is. Now, using the process of elimination, we know that it cannot be spring. We've already done that. And we can't be that frigid winter with those chattering teeth. So our choices are summer and autumn. Now, I have to tell you, the instrumental effects start on the very, very first note. I want you to listen, and I want you to pay pretty close attention to the very low sounds that you hear. Are you ready? Here we go. Did you hear those low sounds going back and forth? What kind of instruments do you think are playing these sounds? Listen again. Remember, they're all string. So what are the big string instruments capable of playing such low sounds? Did you say bass, B-A-S-S, and another instrument that rhymes with jello called the cello? Well, you're exactly right, okay? And they are imitating something. Before we write that down, we're going to get another clue. Over top of those low strings, you're going to hear the violin playing 4 notes. Dun, 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 dun. Listen to them, and you have to figure out, are those notes moving up? Are they moving down? Or is it just 4 of the same notes? So here we go. Take a listen and see what you think. What did you think? I'm going to play it again. Again, are they moving up? Are they moving down? Or is it just 4 of the same notes not moving anywhere at all? Dun, 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 dun. Very short short little notes. Now, if you figured out that those notes are moving downwards, you are exactly right. Dun, 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 dun. And then Vivaldi's going to give you a new set of 4 notes. Different notes, but again, they're all going to move in that downward direction. Listen. New set. So now I ask you, boys and girls, again, to pretend that it's 300 some years ago and you're out in nature. What makes a short sound as it moves down? Think carefully. If you said leaves, I want you to think again. Have you really ever heard a leaf fall and hit the ground and make a sound? Have you ever heard a raindrop fall and hit something? Bum, 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 bum. And then some more. Bum, 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 bum. And they start slowly because rain usually doesn't start all at once. Like, usually you see a few drops and you say, ah, it's going to rain. And then all of a sudden, after those first raindrops, I just got rained on, it starts to pour. Oh, brother, what a storm. Ah! I'm soaked. I hope you enjoyed that. So obviously, if we start with the violins under instrumental effects, violin, get your pencil. V-I-O-L-I-N equals raindrops. Plink, 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 plink. Which, unlike what just happened to me, gives you at least enough time to get your umbrella put up or to run inside. Okay, on the next line, we're going to talk about basses and cellos. I will spell basses for you. B-A-S-S-E-S. You know how to spell and. And cello. C-E-L-L-O. And remember, boys and girls, we don't get to capitalize the names of instruments. We've been arguing with the dictionary people for 300 years saying, violin, cello, bass, those are proper names. And the dictionary people keep saying, no, we're not going to let you capitalize them. I think one of you needs to grow up and become the editor of the dictionary and change that rule for me, please. Okay, so the basses and the cellos, what would go along? What would be those low rumbling sounds of the basses and cellos to go with the raindrops? Listen at the beginning. Do you think that it might just be thunder? Exactly. Those violins, I'm sorry, those basses and cellos are imitating the sound of thunder. Now we're not quite finished yet, because as the rain starts gushing down, all of a sudden the violin changes direction. It starts to move up. Listen. Here's the downpour. in a storm with rain and thunder, what possibly out in nature could move up? If you're thinking wind, absolutely wind. In fact, do you remember from our mythology, I talked to you about Boreas, the cold north wind who was the bully? Well, the reason we're having such wind in this movement is because Boreas is up to his bullying ways again, and Boreas has picked a fight with Sirocco. Sirocco is the hot desert wind, and anytime those two winds get together, they are bound to produce not only that thunder, but also, I'm going to show you some pictures. Take a look as you listen to a little bit more of the music. Pictures. Like this. Boys and girls, that's some kind of powerful storm, right? Great listening. Okay, now in order to figure out what season it is, you're gonna have to know a little bit more about Italy. And so we've gotten all of these clues, and when you come back next time, we'll name the season and I'll tell you an interesting story about that. Great work today, everybody. Have a magical musical week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.